I was halfway out the door, duffel bag slung over my shoulder, racing to see my dad in the ER when I froze. My driveway was a circuitous unbroken line of SUVs, Teslas, and eco-friendly oddities boxing me in. A woman was doing a slow-motion cartwheel by my mailbox. A shirtless guy, glistening with oil, sat cross-legged on my grass like he was channeling some low-budget enlightenment. And there, smack in the middle of the madness, stood Lisa, arms outstretched to the sun, chanting about unlocking her cosmic gateway. My truck wasn't moving, and neither was I. I hit the horn once. Lisa tilted her head, flashed a grin like a yoga-clad cartoon VY Lane, and cooed, "Shh, we're purifying the street VY Bess." That's when I vowed revenge, not just any revenge, but a spiritual reckoning. 2 weeks prior, life was calm. I've got a few acres on the edge of a quiet, semi-rural neighborhood. A gravel driveway snakes through trees to my cabin. Peaceful. Private. My neighbors, retirees who minded their own business, suited me just fine. Then Lisa rolled in. She bought the place next door and marked her territory with a giant wooden sign dangling from her porch. The Soul Haven, restore, rise, repeat. Warning sign number 1. Number 2 hit when I found a smoldering sage bundle on my doorstep with a note, "For your dark VY Bess. You're welcome." I tried to play nice at first. Lisa introduced herself as a yoga teacher, influencer, and wellness VY Cyanary, which I later decoded as jobless with fast internet. She mentioned hosting small weekend retreats. Low-key, she said, just folks were centering their essence. I didn't care as long as they stayed off my driveway. My land's marked with private property signs, me driveways, no thoroughfare, no parking lot, no communal sandbox. I thought I'd been clear. I was wrong. The first retreat weekend, a handful of cars lined the road. Irritating but bearable. The second, I found people sprawled across my driveway, stretching. One woman had a full picnic going by my mailbox. I asked nicely if they'd move. Lisa waved me off with her lavender-infused water and said, "We're all earthbound, neighbor. You're in this too." By the third weekend, I'd had it, not just the cars or the chanting, but the total disrespect. My driveway got blocked twice in a week. When I called her out, Lisa suggested I breathe through it and offered a free yoga session. I said no firmly. Then came the weekend, the one that flipped the switch. Friday started normal. I was at work when my brother called. Dad had collapsed, rushed to a hospital 3 towns away. I sped home, heart hammering, to grab an overnight bag. I didn't clock the cars until I rounded the last bend. My driveway was a yoga-fueled parking lot, 9 vehicles minimum. A guy was doing handstands on a Prius tailgate. 2 women snapped selfies under a driftwood arch. The air reeked of patchouli and self-righteousness. My truck was trapped like it was in debt. I leaned on the horn. "Nothing," I shouted out the window. Lisa, mid-chant with arms skyward, cracked one eye and said, "This is a holy pause. Can you circle back?" I could have exploded. Instead, I inhaled, snapped pics, and peeled across the lawn, uprooting a few of her tacky garden lights. I didn't look back. Dad was fine, dehydration, blood pressure dip. He'd recover. But sitting in that hospital, scrolling my phone, fury turned to inspiration. A college buddy, Mike, ran a local monster truck crew. Years back, I'd helped him beat a zoning fight. He'd said, "Need a favor? Just holler." I was hollering now, out with turbocharged tires and a Vengeance soundtrack. The plan clicked fast. I checked zoning laws, filed a permit, confirmed noise rules with the county. It was airtight. I texted Mike, "Monster truck charity bash. One day. All welcome. Bring earplugs." Proceeds would fund veteran programs, legal and noble. Lisa wanted to clog my driveway for her awakening? I'd awaken the whole damn county with fire-breathing horsepower. But I wasn't done. I wanted Lisa to know. So I hand-delivered an event notice, permits, plans, and a note. "Heads up, Lisa. Driveways booked this weekend. Hope your crew's quick at dodging." She tried to laugh it off, but her eye twitched when she saw the county seal. She didn't know the half of it. 5 trucks were coming. Tiebreaker, Crushadon, Rumble Queen with flame decals and an AC/DC blaring horn, plus 2 more. This wasn't petty payback, it was precision karma. A roaring lesson in pushing a quiet guy too far. And the best was yet to come. Lisa's retreat was her shrine, organic kale and butchered mysticism. To me, it was now a target for a full-on revenge op. After she blocked me during a family crisis and told me to wait for her soul alignment, something snapped, not cinematic rage, but cold, calculated, gloriously loud satisfaction. I called Mike. He laughed before I finished the story. He hadn't forgotten the zoning favor. Lisa, the driveway, the handstands, he said. Say less. I've dreamed of flattening a yoga mat. We set a date 3 weeks out, time to prep, lock in permits, and let Lisa think she'd won. While she posted pics of tree poses under wind chimes, I rallied the loudest squad in town. Mike brought 5 beasts. Tirebreaker, Crushadon, Rumble Queen, Mudmaster, and El Diablo, a flame-painted relic that roared like Judgment Day. These weren't just trucks. They spat fire, crushed concrete, and blasted Sweet Home Alabama through tailpipes. I tied it to Charity's burn center and Vets Rehab, making it untouchable. Permits filed, exemptions secured, even a food truck signed on, a guy with a pig-shaped trailer slinging ribs and fried Oreos. The town council ate it up. The sheriff's office offered crowd control. Every detail was locked. This wasn't a spat, Anna Marie, it was a mission with a middle finger. I dropped the event notice in Lisa's mailbox. She cornered me the next morning, barefoot on my gravel, clutching the papers like they'd insulted her ancestors. You can't throw a monster truck party, she shrieked, flapping the permit. This is a sanctuary. I told her it was my land, zoned for events, and her crew might need new parking since her last stunt trapped me. She blinked fast, grasping for calm but looking more like she'd swallowed a lemon. It's noise pollution. You're tainting the aura. I grinned. Funny, that's how I felt when your shirtless bongo guy woke me up during your lunar reset. She huffed off, likely to consult her essential oils. Lisa didn't quit. Inspectors started popping up water runoff checks, a shed violation from 2003. I preempted it all, records ready. Her sabotage flopped. Then came her big gun, a cease and desist from a smug, patchouli-scented lawyer, citing spiritual trespass and sabotage. I handed him my permits, donation flyers, and a t-shirt design of a truck doing yoga on a crushed mat. See you there, I said. Tickets are free, suggested donation. The day before the bash, Lisa hit the neighborhood Facebook group, wailing about a violent disturbance and begging for a petition. Only Tom replied, food trucks, with fire emojis. She'd lost the crowd. They were fed up with her incense drifts and 6 a.m. gongs too. The rally was now a rebellion. That night, trucks rolled in on trailers. El Diablo gleamed under moonlight, fuel and triumph in the air. Mike handed me a beer. Where's yoga lady? He asked. Brought earplugs in case she screams the trucks off. I laughed, nodding at her dark, quiet house. She had no clue what was coming. She could meditate all she wanted tomorrow, she'd feel every rumble in her soul. Sunrise hit, thick with diesel and hype. I was up early prepping. Food trucks parked in my cleared lot. Fire crew volunteered safety duty. Then the trucks arrived: Tirebreaker, Crushadon, Rumble Queen, El Diablo, Mudmaster, parade of chaos. Drivers jumped out, high-five VYing like it was game day. Mike yelled over the engines, time to wake 'em up. I glanced at Lisa's yard, yoga mats lined up, prayer flags swaying, a banner preaching inhale peace, exhale chaos. Her 8 a.m. session had a dozen folks cross-legged, arms up, obli VYS. Not for long. At 8:30, Mike cranked Tirebreaker. The roar bounced off the hills, raw, earth-shaking bliss. Birds scattered. A dog howled blocks away. Lisa's group wobbled, heads turned. She kept her eyes shut, faking serenity. Then Mike hit the horn, Sweet Home Alabama, off-key and glorious. Dust flew. Lisa's eyes popped open, horror replacing her zen as 5 trucks growled alive. A guest stood, torn between chanting and fleeing. I strolled to my driveway's edge, raised my coffee mug and waved cheerily. She charged over, barefoot and fuming. This is a sacred right, she bellowed. You're defiling my space. I pointed to the permit sign. Just raising cash for kids and vets. Want a chip in? Her face went crimson. She stomped back, but Rumble Queen soared off a ramp, toppling her rock piles. Game over. Lisa tried everything, WVYing at guests, yelling about energy theft, calling the sheriff. My cousin Dan, the deputy, showed up, checked the permits, and gave me a thumbs up. To Lisa's VY brational harm rant, he said, "Ma'am, it's legit. That truck's funding a kid's leg. Think about the optics." She slammed her door, wind chimes clanging. The day rocked on jumps, donuts, a yoga mat flattening show. Kids cheered, adults donated, ribs sizzled. We raised overdue law $3,000. Lisa's retreat crumbled, guests bailed, mats in tow. By dusk, 3 stragglers stayed, 1 googling refunds. From her window, candle flickering, Lisa looked spent. I'd followed her ignored rules and cranked the volume. The crowd left buzzing. Mike dubbed me an honorary trucker. Neighbors slapped my back. I cracked a beer, savoring a piece her chance couldn't touch. But I knew Lisa wasn't done. Sunday was silent, too silent. Then my phone blew up. A rally VY Deo went VY Row Lisa's meltdown as Rumble Queen spun donuts. Captioned, "When your Zen meets 66-inch tires." It hit 300,000 upvotes on Reddit. They called her Cranky Lotus Lisa. By noon she was on her porch, clutching screenshots, pacing, yelling into her phone. Her retreat site tanked, refunds demanded, 1-star revyus piling up. Her Facebook apology backfired. "Sorry you misread my healing intent, I fought toxic engine VY Bess." Memes exploded, her face on a truck, captioned, "Namaste this." She emailed news outlets claiming a smear by gearhead lunatics. No dice, a charity angle won. Her narrative slipped, and for Lisa that stung worse than block parking. She sued me, emotional distress, lost revenue, chi disruption. Her lawyer, reeking of tea tree oil, faced my attorney, Brenda, a lemur case veteran. The courtroom buzzed. Lisa wore white robes. I rocked a truck-crushing Lotus tee. The judge sighed at her vibrate on trespass spiel. Brenda dropped a binder, permits, receipts, memes. 2 hours later the case tanked. Lisa got fined for her unpermitted retreat biz and ordered to refund guests. Her empire was a public nuisance. She posted a teary view, Dianabody cared. Her followers faded, her site died. Her house hit the market. I threw a cookout, ribs, trucks, neighbors. Lisa vanished, crystals and all, in a rental SUV. New guy Dave moved in, taco truck owner. He brought beer, laughs, and monthly taco nights with rally replays. Peace returned, louder and tastier than ever.